With changes come questions. Immigration Minister Chris Alexander answered them all, or at least he tried to, for stakeholders of the In Caregiver Program. For one, many caregivers are worried the 5,500 cap for permanent resident applications will leave them without status after their contracts. But Alexander explains the changes are needed to solve the backlog in the Caregiver Program.
The Caregiver Program was one that had the longest backlogs, the longest periods of family separation, and so the changes we are making are overdue, are necessary, and we're proud to be doing it now because they mean we are going to have a faster, fairer, safer immigration system than ever before, including for caregivers.
Many are also confused on the two new pathways to permanent residency and how it will affect caregivers already in the country.
Those people who are in the backlog, 60,000, starting next month and all through next year, if they meet the requirements of the two new pathways that we are creating, the child care pathway and the high medical needs pathway, they can make another application. They can keep their application in the old LCP backlog, but they can make another application and be processed starting next year in 6 months. So 6-month processing will apply to some of those in the current backlog and to everyone who comes to Canada as a caregiver after November 30th.
While the removal of the live-in requirement was welcome news, it also poses another problem: additional costs.
I think the nannies will probably benefit more from the new policy. The thing that concerns me the most is with the change in the policy about the live-in caregivers and the live-in not being able to deduct the room and board. It's going to cost the employers a lot more to have nannies. I'm not sure about how many employers are really going to be able to afford that.
And so despite the changes, doubts in the caregiver community still persist. Many questions remain unanswered.
What really got me was the education part, where caregivers will have to undergo education as a sustainability plan. No, what I cannot get here is yung financial burden on the caregiver, considering the wage they're getting when, if they apply for as a student to, as in terms of continuing education, then they are charged fees as international students because they're here as temporary workers. So yun sa akin, yun ang gray area.
The changes to the LCP will take effect November 30th. Veronica Silva, ABS-CBN News, Toronto.